Do 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 do. Intro music. I obviously don't have any intro music, but that doesn't mean I don't want to help you guys learn how to run a tournament. Hi, I'm Devin Fraze with Baduk Club, and I'm making a video today to talk about tournaments. I've run a few myself, being the director of the Columbus Go Club and also working with the AGA to run the National Go Congress. And on the Baduk Club Slack, we had a user request to talk about, let's see here, the how to run a tournament. So Neil Wright asked, I'm interested in running some tournaments here in Portland. Does anyone have some resources they could point me to in order to learn how to go about doing so? I'd love to learn about different types of tournaments, how to do pairings, and anything else worth considering. I figured this might be a good place to start and figure some of you have probably run tournaments before. Thanks in advance. Yeah, if you're a member of Baduk Club, reach out on our Slack, and I'm happy to help you guys do whatever you need to do to run a successful club. Heck, honestly, I'd be happy to do it for anyone anyway. Just Slack's an easy way to do it, and if you're a member of Baduk Club, then you'll already be on there, or could join there. You've been invited. So, yeah, let's talk about that. Before I launch into some of the details, I want to ask you some questions. So, my questions are simple. What kind of tournament do you want to run? Do you want to run a rated tournament using a national rating system like the European Go Federation or the American Go Association, Australian or New Zealand, or any of that kind of stuff? If so, you're probably going to have to follow some rules that are in line with those associations and how they run tournaments. The American Go Association has specific rules on Comey being 7.5, and that the players pass a stone at the end of the game, and what certain time settings can be. You need to know, for example, in the AGA, players are not allowed to demote themselves from whatever their AGA rank is, but they are allowed to promote if it's more than 3 ranks higher, which does, make sure that you don't get stuck in issues where you have a lot of people self-promoting just by a little bit and it skews the whole system. This is all hotly debated in the organizer scene, and if you'd like to join, again, join the Slack and we can talk some more about it. But for now, I'm going to cover the basics. So you should obviously know generally where you'd want to hold the tournament. You should think about who you're inviting, how many people. You need to figure out supplies. Do you ask, if it's a small tournament, you could ask people to bring their own supplies. If it's a larger tournament, you should try and consider how to acquire supplies. You could reach out to, for example, the AGA and ask, hey, I'd want to run a larger, medium-sized tournament. Reaching out to past organizers is also a great way to figure out tournament equipment. You can also you also should think about clocks. So for, again, a rated tournament, it's I don't think 100% necessary, but suggested that you have some sort of way to do time settings. Again, the AGA or myself could help you. If you live anywhere in the Midwest, I could probably hook you up with some clocks. I have about 60, sorry, 30 clocks, so enough for 60 people. The other consideration is how to get the word out about your tournament. So hopefully you already have a contact to your club members and people in your area. If not, you should start to build that. And don't be creepy about it. I mean, be polite. Hey, my name's Devin. I'm trying to run a tournament. Would you like more information? And a Go tournament, and the they might give you your email so you could send out such reminders in the area and stuff like that. So I have, I think, a list like 300 names long of people in Columbus and in the Midwest that are interested in coming out to a tournament if I host it. I also can tell you that there are listings. Baduk Club is one of them for clubs, and you can reach out to those club organizers directly and say, hey, I wanted to let you guys know about a tournament coming up, and if you would please disperse it to your constituents, to your club, to your, the people that trust you, and let them know that this is coming up. Other considerations, you want to think about prizes. You want to think about, is it going to be a cash prize? Is it going to be just for bragging rights? Will you have trophies? Or maybe a really great easy way is to just print out awards beforehand and maybe sign your name as a tournament director. And yeah, that's some of the general overview you need to think about. So let me launch into now an example on my screen of what I would typically go through in figuring out a tournament. So back to the screen. So the first thing I would do is probably go to the AGA website, usgo.org, and you can see here there's a tournaments tab, and there's tournament resources right there. If you go to tournament resources, you can get a complete list of AGA rules. And some of the other rule sets that are available in different countries if you happen to be elsewhere in the world. Then there's also an official guide. It is super long. I do not recommend reading this, but it's there. And qualifications. So requirements for what you need to make sure is happening in your tournament. So it's an AGA rated tournament. One of the key things there is just simply that your players in the tournament are members of the AGA, and that those people are current in their membership. Their dues have been paid. Now, that may change sometime in the future, but for now, you want to make sure that everybody is a paid member, and I'll show you more information about how to do that. There's also information on a TD list, and this gives you the listing of names, AGA numbers, and current AGA ratings for everybody. But I'll show you there's a better way to actually access that information when you need it. So types of tournaments, there's a lot of different kinds. There's match play, round robin, leagues, self-paired tournaments, an option, and knockout tournaments, Swiss, McMahon, and Accelerate. I would not go with the Accelerate system. It does not work anymore. It does not send to the AGA system anymore. Knockouts are no fun because then everybody else there is not participating once they've gotten knocked out. Round robins can be cool, but usually not good for large tournaments, just for small ones. Self-paired are fine. It's a great way to help your AGA rating progress if you're not having a lot of local tournaments or even medium-sized tournaments near you. Leagues are pretty much self-paired, and you can just encourage competition in your club and grow it. And Swiss McMahon, that is typically what the AGA uses in its tournament rating systems. And there's a particular software a lot of the organizers use. Actually, none of these listed here. We don't use Accelerate. MGA Go TD. I'm familiar with actually the MGA organizers, and I've never actually seen them use this, but I'm sure someone does. And Go Clubs Online is actually a decent tournament management resource, although I will say Baduk.club is going to be hopefully a even better version. And then the program that I really recommend is OpenGotha. So if you click on that, it's going to take you to this website, and you want to download OpenGotha. And when you do and download it, I already did that. You're going to get a zip file, and you want to unzip it into a folder. Oh, sorry, here's a zip file, unzip it to a folder. And in that folder, there's going to be all this stuff. Now, it's a kind of really old, not super great looking program. We'll get into that in a second. One more thing I want to mention is signing up for tournaments. Now, I set this up for myself. So if you go to tform.ohio.org, I've actually sent it. That's just a URL that forwards to a registration document or pre-registration. And I send people this link and I say, hey, please fill in your address, your name, and then the name of the tournament. So there's one coming up in Columbus, or near Columbus, where I live, called the 6th Lake Erie Go Tournament up in actually Cleveland area. And then we check here if you have a AGA membership before I let you finish registration. If you do have a membership, it's easy. When you do this and hit next, it just asks you for that membership number. If you don't have a membership, but you used to, it's going to ask you to renew and then come back and finish this sheet. And if it's your first AGA event, there's actually a special promotion AGA members can offer. And so let me show you that. So if you come to usgo.org again, and in the side here, if you're AGA chapter, you can log in and well, hold on, let's see here. Manage the Columbus Club, and I'm going to send voucher. Click. And now I can send a special link to an address that allow the recipient to join the AGA for a discount of 50%. So this is a really great way to get people to sign up as AGA members if you're running an AGA tournament and the people signing up for your tournament are not AGA members. Type in the email and you're good. So that's a really good tool. Also, if you go to your chapter members, you can see all the people in your club and their emails, and you can email them. But I will not show you my club because that's their private email. So another resource for tournament, tournament directors is the calendar on the AGA website. A lot of different calendars. You should also promote it directly to people, and you should promote it on social media if you have that, Facebook or meetup.com. And actually, you can list it on Baduk Club. So let's actually go to Baduk Club, right? And if we log in, oh, look at that. More players have joined. That's great. Log in. And we'll log into my Columbus email. And if I click add new meetup, right now, eventually it'll actually have a tournaments button. Right now it's just going to be meetup. And we choose a one-time meetup. We can set the date and time of that meetup and have it just be a tournament, right? Special tournament, where we put in the address, and then we put in descriptions of the event. So, and we would not want the tournament to be invite only. Although you can still invite people from that page once you've created it. So, okay, so back to tournament workshops. To add to the calendar, you just click this button right here, and you can see in the bottom right-hand corner of my screen, it says calendar@usgo.org. That's just, it opens your email and it lets you message them. Oh, sorry, that's for editing. If you want to enter, actually, you go click here, and then you can add the information of the tournament, like that. This is actually decently useful because it gets sent out in the e-journal as well, and an unknown amount of people read that, but potentially many. So anyway, back to OpenGotha. So we open up, oops, not pictures. We open up our OpenGotha folder, and we open up OpenGotha. So now we've gotten people signed up, pre-registered. We've announced it. Probably did the announcement first, and then got people signed up. We try to download this. It won't let us open because we're using a Mac, and it says I don't have security. So we're gonna actually purposely didn't do this so you guys could see how to solve that issue if you ever come up with it. We go to Settings, System Preferences. And then it opens. We go to Security and Privacy. What's nice about OpenGotha too is it downloads locally on your computer, so you actually don't need internet to run it, although it's old. And then allow apps to download. I've tried to let it do it for identified developers, but this developer is not identified. Open anyway. Open. We're sure. We trust them. And boom, now it will open. So, opening, super old looking program. Baduk Club doesn't have the option yet, but hopefully we want to make the tournament a seamless experience right from the website, from sign up to match pairings. Standalone, server or client? You want to click standalone is the answer to that question. There's a help, tells you all the information you could ever want to know, but the reality is standalone. So also I'll break this video down into like smaller ones of how to do the specific things, but for now it's just a long video of how to do everything. So you cannot change the size of the screen. You cannot scroll. It is not a good experience, but that's okay. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna want to go tournament, new, and then put in your tournament name, the shortlist name, which is how it's gonna probably appear elsewhere, and location of your tournament and director. So stuff like that, and the dates. So this is all going to be useful for reporting to the AGA or the EGF. There's Mac Mahone, which I mentioned was pretty good, Swiss, and Swiss with categories. Now, actually, Swiss with categories is decent for letting people know, hey, if we have if you have like different if you have a lot of people in a tournament, such as the US Go Congress, this is really useful. But now we'll do Swiss. And number of rounds, we're going to say you're doing a 4-round tournament. I can squeeze in 4 rounds into a day from 9 a.m. registration to 10 a.m. first round, 11:30 second round, lunch at 1, third round at 2. So each round's like an hour and a half with half an hour main time on the clock and 5 sets of 30-second Byoyomi, or maybe 20-second even. And then you have the basically third and fourth round, and then eventually some sort of award ceremony for like half an hour at the end. So do 4 rounds, and then people go home and have a good time. Okay. Great. Now I'm in that tournament. So we want to add some players. Go to Player Manager. Boop. And we want to use a rating list. This is the easiest way. Now we could import some sort of like list we had from before from pre-registrants, but instead we want to do a rating list. Pre-registrants is partly just to help encourage people to use the system. So again, AGA, there's 21,444 players, and then we're going to update the rating list from the AGA. Now, let's see if I've actually done it right. No, so I haven't actually done it. Well, 20133. I think it's my ID. Yep, fair enough. So actually, I do already have this downloaded. You haven't updated it, and it'll actually download the rating list to your computer, which is great. So if you type in their AGA ID, which is part of why you wanted to collect that earlier, then you just search it. Mark what rounds they're going to participate in. Make sure you know what club they're coming from. If this one's to Suju, technically it should be Columbus. Darn it, CBUS. But whatever. AGA database is funky. Then it gives you rating, origins, ranking, something like that. So my rank is 2K on there. It's actually 1K. Again, I'm running the tournament, so I'm going to update it. That's fine. I guess this is pulling in an old list, so that's why. You can also do, if you have EGF and FFG, which I have no idea what that is, you can put that in there too. And is this registration preliminary? So this was actually kind of like our pre-reg, and then you have to finalize it later, or is it final? I'm going to typically I just actually put all these people in final day of. But let's say I'm actually really smart. I opened up this program before based on the list I got on, from pre-reg, and then I preliminarily add all these people, right? So when it gets to the day of, all I have to do is come over to Devin, and his registration status is P, and I just update that to final and register. Oh yeah, sorry. It's trying to do this situation here. I actually can no longer edit Devin here. I have to close this, players, player quick check, and then come here. Oh, don't remove all P. Yep, set to final. Boom, there. Now we set to final, and it's good. So I'm actually officially playing in the tournament. If you don't set to final, you do the pre-reg, you're gonna not be able to pair those people when the tournament comes. So, all right, close this. We have Devin in the tournament, and let's find some other players. So we're gonna do that by looking up US AGA GD at usgo.org. AGA Go Database.usgo.org, and we're gonna look up I don't know, Soren Jaffe. He's a good friend of mine. Oh, sorry. AGA is funny. You gotta type in Jaffe Soren. Hey, look at that. There it is. So his member ID is 19705. 19705. So come back over to our other window, and open up our player manager, and we're going to add Soren. His AGA ID again was 19705. Great. And search, and there's his information, and we're all happy. It's 5. It's actually 6 down now, I think. It might be 6 down now. And we're going to register him final. Boom. So he just pops right in there. You see 0 preliminary, 2 final, and we're good to go. So we can run a tournament. It's going to be boring 4-round tournaments. It's just 2 people, but well, that's fine for now. Close. So now we come in here, and we want to do games. So we have the players. Time to put in the games. Now, what's nice is also, real quick about Player Manager, part of why let's see here. Maybe I'll open up quick check. Part of why it wants to know the club is because let's say Soren and I were from the same club, not Columbus, Tuskegee, and Cleveland. If we were from the same club, it actually would try to not pair us together, which is a very lovely feature because I don't necessarily want to play the people that I play every week at my club. I want to try to play people from elsewhere. So that's a great feature. All right, players, player manage, no, games, pair. So we're going to pair the games. Here are the list of all the pairable players. Now, again, it's only 2 people. If I only want to select, some subset of players, I can just click on them individually. I believe it's like Control-click to, Command-click to add them and take away them individually. Or you can do obviously Shift-click to add them all. Now it's 2 people, so you can't see the difference, but that's the idea. So if you don't select anything, it'll just pair them all, but you can also select individuals. Paired us. Hey, look at that. Giving Soren white and me black. Now, HD, handicap 0. Now, well, hold on. What the heck here? I'm a 1Q. He's a 5 Don. Why'd that happen? Now, that has to do with the tournament settings. So let's go back and actually I'm going to show you that real quick. Options, preferences. Nope, that's computer stuff. Options, tournament options. In my tournament, I have rules on handicap. So right now it says there's no handicap. So that might be why. I think there's actually something else I can change about that pairing. Here we go. Where is it? Oh, okay. Place whatever is necessary to compensate. Yeah, don't see it here. Maybe it is in options, game options. And this is the time settings. So again, we said typically you'd want to do 30 minutes. Pro tip, Comey for AGA. And you're allowed to do Canadian Fisher if you want, but also tells you some EGF info right there. Tournament options. Maybe I had to change this before. Let's open the help. I'll show you how the help works. Yeah, no handicap in both players above 8 Don. So typically you can adjust information about handicap and if there's any handicap correction, such as like handicap -2 to make the tournament a little harder, put a handicap something of 9. So general settings. Oh, I know why. So I think the issue is I chose Swiss instead of McMahon. I should have known better for my tournament. And that's why I can't do a handicap settings. Swiss system, yep. Change or reset tournament system, yep. So McMahon. So okay, click, boom. There we go. McMahon bar and the floor. Handicap. Oh, look at that. No handicap when 1D and above. Awesome. Well, we want to change this to 8 down above because I do want a handicap on playing Soren, and we're doing McMahon's score and handicap -1, so it makes me a little, a little hard, a little harder for me, but not too hard. You can get super serious and do handicap -2 as well. Handicap -2 as well. And 9's always a good ceiling. So, all right, we'll close that. Whew, okay, back to pairings. Pairings, Devin versus Soren, pair, handicap 3. Okay, this makes sense. 1 Don. 1K to 5 Don is kind of the same as like 1 Don to 6 Don. That should be a difference of 5-ish, and then it's handicap of 3. So it's also taking into account our relative scores. So it seems fair enough. No bye players this round. If you had an odd number of players, you'd actually place someone here. Say they're not playing this round. Okay, you scored them. I typically will, for tournament, if I can, project this onto a wall somewhere so people can see who's matched. If I want, I can print this, and it'll print it out so I can post it somewhere, which is good for a tournament. Or you can even just read. Just go out and read aloud to people the results of what the next table pairings are. So this option. So we paired. Now the games are playing, and I am the tournament director. I like to not play in my tournaments. Some people like to play in their tournaments, others don't. So if you're not playing, you get to sit back, walk around, watch, help adjudicate if people have questions. Usually they don't, but sometimes they do. Now, after we've paired it, we want to collect results. So this Devin guy finishes his game with Soren and he wins. Hooray! Amazingly, if you click on his name, it goes red. Red means you're the winner. This is a horrible, horrible color scheme, but it's what we have. So and where it says result over here, 0, 1, and there we go. So now we've done that. We can close. Woo! All right, we've collected results from all the players in round 1, and we're done. And we're ready to move to round 2. To do that, you just go pair, and it automatically takes you to round 2 if you need to change round 1 for some reason. After you paired, don't do it. It's not good. You're going to mess up the whole thing. But if you haven't recorded the results, it's fine to unpair and repair and stuff like that. Once you've recorded the results, now you're on round 2, and you can select people to pair and pair them again. Oh, gotta select even numbers, so I can either select them all or select no one. Pair. Hey, gives you nice information like they've already been paired. So it helps you make sure you're not making mistakes in boring tournaments. But in this case, I will pair again. Yes, Soren and Devin go up round 2. Very exciting. So close, again, results. And this time, Soren wins. Ooh, good for him. So there. So now we've already got 2 rounds under our belt. We want to go to standings maybe and see, hey, how's this going? So the standings after round 1 are here. Standings after round 2 are here. It really just adds this little field, and it shows you the difference in how it stacks. Now, granted, Soren was better than me before the tournament, so he was started number 1, and he's better than me now. Let's actually say, let's dream big. Results for round 2, Devin won. Close. Now we can see standing round 1, Soren's winning because he's better, but round 2, Devin is still losing. Interesting. What is happening? So what's happening is his MMS score is larger. But we can make sure that we don't. So yeah, what we want to do is this N here is very important, number of wins. When I come to give awards later, I'm going to give awards to the number of wins. So we're going to use a new setting for setting winner. The first thing we're going to choose is N, number of wins, NBW. Let's see here. Oh yeah, NBW, great, NBW. Then we're going to choose SOS. Well, whatever. What was this before? I already forget. Bummer. So SOSW, I guess, and then SOS M, and then what was it? SOS W. So okay, so what this is sum of scores. Sum of scores. Oh, this is the same thing. Sum of, and then we'll just set this to null again. Whatever. Okay, great. Sum of scores and sum of scores of opponents' scores. So, for example, my score is 4 because I won. So it takes the sum of that, my 2 wins, and puts it together and gives me a higher score. So the sum of opponents' scores, here we go. My score, 2. Sum of opponents' score, 4. Sum of opponents score. Sum of score of opponents' score. There we go. That's 8. And it prioritizes by here who's getting what. Now, you don't want to do NBW necessarily because in a tournament, it'd be nice to know some relative amount of rankings. Like, okay, 5 dons are LP or 1 dons, and then, 20 Qs are down here and stuff like that. And you can see, just thanks to this NBW line, who has 4 wins or 3 wins or something, and who's winning the division, and how you want to split the different tiers of different sets of people if you have big tournaments. But then you can use this SOS and SOS to tell you within those divisions, who should win if it's a tie. If Sora and I both have in a large tournament, if me and someone else had the same number of wins, 4 wins, this year helps make the tiebreak possible. So, okay, that was exciting. You can also do team tournaments and team standings. I won't go into that now. Control panel here tells you the tournaments and results and stuff like that. Let's just quickly play the rest of the tournament. Pair, yes, close, result, and Soren beats me this time. Pair, round 4, yes, it's okay. Close, publish, result, and I would say I won, so there's a clear win in this tournament. Close. Great. Standings. Hooray, Devin's the winner. He has, whoops, boom, boom. Round 4, he has one more. And you can also publish standings after each round, which is useful. A lot of people like to see that printed out or shown somewhere. All right, now the tournament's over. We want to publish the results. So when you click publish, you can export as EGF, FFG, whatever that is, and AGA. You can also export as a CSV. CSV is standard Excel and Google Sheet format. Comma separated something. You should also, real quick, other than exporting, you should also save this. This is not autosave. This is not fancy. So we have to come here and click save or save as and make sure that it indeed does save. Otherwise, we are very sad. Let's go publish. I'm going to show you what happens when you publish. AGA makes you save it anyways. Text file. I'm going to save it instead of export files. I'm going to save it in downloads. Save. And we're going to open up that text file and take a look at it. So this is how tournaments are reported at the AGA, the ratings coordinator that you email to at ratings@usgo.org. We'll open this up and put it in the system, and it'll all be in there. So it's simply tournament name and location name, and when it started and finished, who the players were overall, and then the games played. Big list, with the AGA IDs telling you who's doing what, who the winner is, what the handicap was, what the Komi was. That's interesting. Yeah, what the Komi was, because there's no Komi. And this is not important. Great, and it ends. Perfect. So that's submitted, and your tournament will be paired, assuming again that everybody is actually a paid AGA member, or at least an AGA member. You can actually, if you need to, probably argue a case that, hey, the old Korean guy that didn't speak English refused to pay any money, but he really wanted to play in the tournament, so I let him in. It's okay, but not ideal, but it's possible. Great, that's how using OpenGotha. Again, hopefully all this will be just possible right in Baduk. You'll be able to go and click a tournaments button and click a tournaments button or find it on the map and then pair it from there and all that good stuff. And for now, you also have this form for Pure Edge, or you should make your own form. Talk to me if you need, and I'll help you make a form. Let's check and make sure I didn't miss anything. Tournament resources. So, yep, line up space and equipment, publicize event, rate your players, encourage membership. How should work at the tournaments, publicity, ratings. Oh yeah, afterward you want to email journal@usgo.org to let them know the results of the tournament. They can publish your tournament results in the e-journal. You need to submit the ratings so people get their AGA ratings updated, which is very exciting. And if you collected any money for membership dues, need to send money to the AGA treasurer. Now, so this year you need to do a check, but I would really recommend sending it through PayPal. You can do that in a PayPal donation. If you do the PayPal donation, you need to notify the treasurer, and then you need to notify the database person to let them, say via PayPal, let them know that, CC the database person, let them know that indeed the treasurer has been paid, and they can update that setting manually. There's unfortunately no non-manual way to do that. So it's convoluted, but it sort of works. Okay, that's everything I think you need to know. If you have questions, actually, let me pull myself back up. If you have questions, leave them in the comments below. Send me an email if you want, hello@baduk.club, and I'll reply and help you out. Again, I really want to see you be a successful tournament organizer, and hope things go well. So thanks so much for tuning in, and hopefully that explains most of what you need to know. Have a good day.